This is the Barbados Today evening news for Wednesday, January 10. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary-Claire Williams. Our top story this evening, a second country has issued a health alert over the sewage leaks on the south coast. Canada issued a safety and security warning yesterday, advising its residents to avoid the affected areas. Today, the U.S. Embassy in Bridgetown published its own health alert, cautioning citizens of an overflow of raw sewage due to a mechanical failure on the south coast. The advisory says the water quality has been affected at certain beaches between Hastings and St. Lawrence Gap. The embassy advised citizens to avoid water activities in the affected areas and beware of sewage on the streets. They also advised to seek medical attention if persons become seriously ill. Now, the Water Resources Management Minister, Dr. David Estwick, recently said government is seeking outside help to deal with the problem. But on the heels of the latest advisories, opposition leader Mia Mottley called on Prime Minister Frundle Stewart to address Barbadians on the issue. Mottley says this is not the time for only technical people to be talking to citizens, but this is a time for the Prime Minister to come to the country. She suggests that government should settle on a short, medium and long-term action plan at tomorrow's cabinet meeting. The Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association is condemning last weekend's robbery at Golden Sands Hotel. 3 armed men attacked and robbed the proprietor, 81-year-old Dennis Tull, of a cash tin and an undisclosed sum of money on Saturday evening. So far, no arrests have been made. In a statement issued this afternoon, the BHTA said it is disturbed by the unfortunate incident. Chairperson Roseanne Mayers said the association is grateful that no one was seriously injured, and she added that while this is a rare occurrence, the incident is worrying for the BHTA as it has the potential to destroy the sense of safety and security that Barbadians are accustomed to. She also stressed the need to further strengthen the social partnership and perhaps include the church as they seek to identify solutions to the problem. In other news this evening, Barbados suffers another downgrade. This time it's from the credit rating agency Caribbean Information and Credit Rating Service Limited, CARICRIS. The agency lowered the assigned regional scale ratings on government's notional debt issue of $300 million by 1 notch from Carib BBB plus to Carib BBB minus. These ratings indicate the level of creditworthiness of the notational debt obligation. CARICRIS says its decision was based on the sustained reduction in net international reserves, which have fallen to the equivalent of 2.2 months of import cover as of September 2017. This is below the internationally recognized minimum of 3 months cover. The downgrade comes 3 months after New York-based Standard & Poor's lowered Barbados' credit rating from CCC- to CCC. And economist Jeremy Stephen tells Barbados Today he is not surprised at the latest development.
One has to be cautious at this time because typically we are, as a country, failing with respect to our reserves. Our reserves continue to fall in light of a very strong global economy. It's just somehow strange that within the Caribbean we believe that the global economy is still underperforming, whereas that's not the truth. There's never been, over the last 10 years, there hasn't been a better time in terms of global growth, especially for those who are investors. So, with that being said, it would be rather foolhardy of us to think we're out to the woods then, for instance. We have been harming ourselves with respect to very ill-timed fiscal policy, late implementation of fiscal policy. And now that was happening with external factors were rather promising, right? But now you still have Brexit on the horizon and expected softening of global growth sometime within the next few years.
The family of the late Ainsley Wharton has been sharing their memories of him after his untimely death earlier this week. Wharton collapsed and died on Bridge Street on Monday evening. His estranged wife, Marilyn Wharton, told Barbados Today he suffered from a heart condition, and she said although they were separated, they were constantly in touch, and she has fond memories of him.
It was sad just seeing him laying there on the pavement daily. It was hurtful and sad. My son was there, my daughter was there. And when was the last time you spoke to him? On Sunday. Oh, we talk about things that he were going to do or things that he wanted me to do. He said that I was going to fat. I should lose weight. I stopped working so hard, but it was a general conversation. It was reserved, but yet he would make you laugh.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Thank you for staying with us. We're back with news from the region. And we go to Guyana, where the government is defending its retention of 2 Barbadian lawyers as part of its defense team in the challenge to the recent controversial appointment of the new chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission. The court challenge was brought by the executive secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Zulfikar Mustafa, who requested that the appointment of James Patterson be declared unconstitutional, null and void, and of no legal effect. We get more in this report from HGP Nightly News.
The Attorney General feels that going outside of the box is good sometimes. In the challenge brought against President Granger's appointment of Justice James Patterson as chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission, the AG says the retaining of Queen's Counsel Ralph Thorne and Hal Gallup as part of the government's legal team serves to enrich the jurisprudence in the region. Though persons have raised questions about the retaining of those top attorneys instead of top local jurists, it is the contention of Mr. Williams that bringing in lawyers to represent the administration in cases is nothing new.
Personally, for me, having been a product of the legal system in the region, which I believe is the best system that we've had, it is being eroded. It is a healthy thing for us in CARICOM to be able to visit each other's territory and share jurisprudential positions. It could only serve to enrich the jurisprudence, not only in Guyana, but in the region as a whole.
The AG was then asked, too, about the cost to retain those 2 top Barbadian lawyers.
Well, when the PPP held the Rodney Commission of Inquiry, and I came into office, that was nearly $1 billion. And I can assure you, we won't have any kind of retainer fees that could culminate in such an amount.
How much would it be?
Well, I don't know if I could disclose the people business like that.
According to Mr. Williams, a number of top Guyanese lawyers were stifled in their practice over the years and are currently at a disadvantage.
And finally, on the international scene, rescue workers in Santa Barbara County in California continued their search for up to 24 people who went missing after mudslides swept through the coastal community. At least 15 people have been killed. The mudslides followed Tuesday's downpour and damaged historic hotels and the homes of celebrities. We get the details in this Reuters report.
The search continues Wednesday for victims of the devastating Southern California mudslide, which slammed into homes, covered highways, and swept away vehicles in the Santa Barbara area, killing at least 15 people.
I think most people are really shocked at the extent of the damage and how big the impact was to the area.
Rescue efforts now focusing on the upscale community of Montecito. It's unknown how many remain trapped, with cell service, gas, electricity, and water services all down. The area is also home to many celebrities, including Oprah Winfrey, who posted this video to social media of her walking through her backyard.
So there used to be a fence right here. That's my neighbor's house, devastated.
Ellen DeGeneres shared a photo of brown sludge dotted by buildings, writing, quote, "This is not a river, this is the 101 freeway in my neighborhood right now." And former Dallas Cowboys quarterback Troy Aikman added another of a scene blanketed by mud. Helicopters have airlifted more than 50 people after a torrential downpour Tuesday stranded some residents in mud-coated rubble. The mudslides are part of a severe 1-2 punch dealt to Southern California, which suffered the deadly Thomas Fire just weeks ago, the largest wildfire in the state's history. The blaze left the area vulnerable to mudslides by burning away grass and shrubs that hold the soil in place, preventing water from sinking deeply into the ground.
That's the news this evening. Remember, you can get more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and on Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also find us on Mix 96.9 FM. I am Marie Claire Williams. Good evening.